Hey guys, just wanted to make a short video today to talk to you about my hydroponic system. So I am very much an amateur gardener, so anything in this video is just what I've learned through watching YouTube videos and learning as I go along. But I wanted to build a hydroponic system and I wanted to do it cheaply. There's a lot of quite large systems on the market that are expensive. I didn't want to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on a system, so I've designed and built what's behind me at the moment, and today I just want to take a little time to talk you through the build. Hopefully if any of you are considering doing something similar, this will help you out. So this is where I started. About a year ago, my wife bought me this system, and this was from Amazon, around £80, and it's an hydroponic system. And I like it, it works. It's got a reservoir at the bottom that holds your nutrients and the water, a 3-spectrum light at the top, a small fan, and a little pump that aerates the water. And it has 12 holes at the top that you can grow plants in. And in the main, it does what it says it will do. You can pop seeds in this and they grow. The problem for me is size. It is too small, and what I noticed as I started to use this was that if I was growing lettuce, for example, I think I planted the whole thing with lettuce when I first started because somebody told me that was the quickest growing item. By the time the first lettuce is grown, it's 4 weeks or so, and then you harvest that, you've all of a sudden got 12 lettuces at once. Was it lettuces? So I then staggered the planting, and then I've got one big lettuce next to a seedling, so the seedling didn't grow, so I needed something bigger, and that was the problem. So I set to designing what I think would work, and I'm just going to talk you through the build. So this is basically the build that I came up with, and I've not tidied it or anything today. I've just done a video on the fly just to talk you through it. So starting with the shelf. It's a 5-tier shelf that I've got off Amazon. So today what I'm going to do is just drop all the links to everything that I bought in the description below. Hopefully if one of you can use them, it'll probably be an affiliate link, so I'll get a few pence for it, as which I'd be very grateful for. So it's just a 5-tier shelf that I bought from Amazon, easy to assemble and not particularly expensive. Moving on from there, I needed something to pass water through and to hold the plants. So I went to my local DIY store and I brought this square downpipe. I know this type of downpipe's available in the US, and in the UK it's readily available. I bought the little hydroponic cups from Amazon. Again, I'll pop the link in the description. And I set to and I drilled 10 holes in each of the 4 downpipes. So within this system, which is extendable, I've got 40 individual stations where I can plant plants. Let's start. So that was the basic setup, and that's what I worked through, just drilling the holes and getting the 4 pipes in place. Each of the pipes have an end cap, and that was where I made my first mistake. So I used PVC cement to set the pipes, which is the right stuff to use, and if you leave it long enough it sets perfectly, and if you don't leave it long enough it leaks. So this one has a bit of tape on it at the moment until I've got time to empty the system to reset that end cap. So for water, I have at the base of mine just a clear plastic bucket, just something I had floating around in the garage. My recommendation if you guys do this is to go with a non-transparent bucket. If it's transparent, the water will go green over time. Within the tub, I've got a pump, just a standard fish pond pump that I bought from Amazon. And that's connected to some Karcher pipework. So I've got pipework that goes directly into the pump, and the pipework runs up the back of the shelving unit and comes to a T-piece at the top. And again, the pipework, highly recommend this Karcher pipework. This hasn't leaked once. If I move that lettuce leaf out of the way, you'll see the T-piece. So the T-piece in here feeds right into the top of the downpipe. That then, when the pump turns on, fills up the downpipes with water all the way down. At the far end, the T-piece is set slightly lower, and I've got the pumps on a timer which I'll show you a little later in the video, so that this T-piece is set 1 centimetre, 10 millimetres lower than the T-piece at the other end, meaning that that manages the water level. When the water hits this end, it will continuously flow until it falls below the exhaust level, down a second second Karcher pipe into a second T-piece in the second set of pipes. And again, it's just a replication on this bottom setup. So I've got the T-piece at that end and again at this end, and again it's just set 1 centimetre lower, and then the exhaust pipe on this side just goes directly back into the bucket. So to control this, what I've got is quite simply 2 Amazon smart plugs. One of them controls the lights and one of them controls the water, and they are connected to my Alexa and set on a timer. So I have the water come on 3 times a day. It pumps for 5 minutes, which is enough to cycle the equivalent amount of water that the whole system holds, and the lights at the moment are on for 14 hours a day. So moving on to lights, this was my biggest problem when trying to build a system. Some of the lights in these systems can be £200–300, and it just wasn't some money that I was willing to spend on what in essence is a hobby to grow relatively cheap vegetables. So I managed to find these on Amazon after hours of searching. So they are 3 spectrum lights, as you can see, but they are just fit into a standard light fitting. They're completely adjustable, so you can move them up and down. And so I ordered 4 of these, and along with it I ordered 4 standard light fittings that just wire straight back into a plug socket at the base of the shelving, and that wires straight into another Amazon smart plug so I can control the timings. And I've got 4 of these set up over the 2 levels, and they have been brilliant. I've planted lettuce in this system and lettuce in the system bought from Amazon, and it grows far quicker in this system, which is my little success story. Once I'd realised that, I'd realised it works relatively well. I think my only advice that I would give you, and one of my biggest regrets, is certainly on this bottom row where I tend to keep smaller plants, there is room to put a 3rd row in the middle, and you can obviously make use of the light that you were generating. When the plants are a little bigger, as you'll see from the lettuce at the top here, it's there's not the space available. Looking at the plants, I mean, I'm using this really as an experiment at the moment. We're just coming into summer in the UK, so I've got quite a lot of plants outside. I've got some bok choy growing here, mountains of basil at the back. I've got some poppies growing, going to transfer those outside. Down on the bottom, I've got no idea what these red leaves are. If any of you do know, please drop it in the comments. It would be a big help because I'm struggling to find it at the moment. And then these, I just got a bell pepper, and once we'd cut it to eat with, took the seeds out, dropped them straight in this system, and they've grown brilliantly. For the cups themselves, I got these from Amazon, and the cubes that I'm using inside, you can get a lot of ready-made conical shaped grow cubes, and they're really expensive. What I use is this, and you can't get this off Amazon, but I use these Grow Down Grow cubes. You can do thousands of these little cups with these. You just soak them in your nutrient solution. I paid £10 for this for 20 litres, and it lasts forever. For nutrients, I use the cocoa canner. Again, it's worked brilliant for me, not had any issues with it, and again I can just get that delivered, so that works well. And then for seedlings, I've just got a little container down here, if I move the dog out of the way, with an old fish light, so once they've seeded I just give them some light until they've established enough to go into the main system. And that's the system. I think in total I spent around £120 on this. We've had it running now for around 6 months. It grows all sorts of things. I purchased a few months ago this seed pack from Amazon. Not particularly cheap, £29 I think, but there is 69,000 seeds in this, and I think 100 different varieties. Definitely worthwhile. I just keep on taking seeds out of this and planting them to see what grows. Don't do what I do and use tags, because it can cause you a nightmare and you end up making a YouTube video to find out what a plant is. But if you are building a system, I won't go into the specific details of where I got everything from or how much each section was, but if you do have any specific questions, just drop it in the comments. I'd be more than happy to help. I am trying to build this YouTube channel, so please just drop me that like and subscribe. I know everybody says this and it's a pain, but it really would help me. And thank you for watching. Have a great day, guys.